Memphis -5 at UAB.
I like this.
They are coming off a tough loss to Tulane. This was almost like a conference championship type vibe, but things get a little easier now against this UAB defense. They are terrible in coverage, and Memphis, one of the best teams in the country at finishing drives. That's bad news for a UAB defense that's 116th in total defense. They give up 429 yards a game, 5.5 yards per carry on the ground. Memphis is not road traveled. They've not been on the road much. This is just their second road game. The other game, they blew out a bad Arkansas State team. I've got UAB better than Arkansas State, but it's by about a touchdown. Memphis was a 21-point favorite in that game. They won by 34. Now they're laying just 5 on the road against this UAB team that's in the bottom tier in every defensive and special team stat. UAB's got a respectable offense. They can't protect the passer. They're one of the worst in the country in havoc allowed, which means there's going to be a big negative play at some point. There's going to be a turnover at some point. I feel good laying points with the more talented roster that's got an actual college football coach coaching them. Give me Memphis -5 for my best bet.
I like it. It was going to be one of my plays, but I didn't pull the trigger on that one. So I co-signed the Memphis play. I'm going to go with Air Force. Air Force laying 11 against Navy, and it's a big number, and I know everyone's going to say don't lay a big number when the total is this low, especially when you consider that unders and service academy games are 43-10-1 going back to 2005.
12-1-1 since 2018.
Yeah, but here's what we have to know. We have to explain here. Rain is in the forecast in Annapolis. We know that both teams are going to run the football. One team can run it. The other team can't stop it. One team can stop it. The other team doesn't have as much success running it. Air Force allowing just 14.7 points and 240 yards per game. Navy averaging 235 yards per ground on the ground. We know that they're fine. But Navy has failed to cover the spread in 7 of their last 8 games at home. Air Force ranks 16th in the country in points per game, 37.6. They're 14th in the nation in offensive efficiency. They're Navy allowing 148.5 rushing yards per game. Air Force only allows 77. And because Air Force runs the football over 91% of the time, Navy's going to have to defend that, and they don't do a good enough job defending it. Air Force averaging 327 yards on the ground per game, tops in the country, and it's just going to be a nonstop, like scrum, dirty, muddy, rainy, rugby style for 3 hours. And here's what I like even more about the possibility of Air Force covering a big number here. Quarterback Zach Larrier is out. So the backup's in, senior Jensen Jones. He's been in the program for a while. He took all the snaps in the spring. He's a bigger body, a more powerful runner, not as quick, but more powerful, which is going to help you between the tackles. But his teammates keep talking about his arm power. Like, this kid can throw the football. And so Air Force, even though there's rain in the forecast, might take a shot or two down the field to take advantage of this kid's arm. And that is going to lead to maybe some explosive plays and big scores. So I like Air Force to score because I think that they're going to be able to run the ball effectively, and Navy's not going to be able to stop them.
Yeah, I worry a little bit about Larrier being out. There's just not a lot of film on Jensen Jones to know. I heard the same things about what his teammates were saying, but I haven't seen it. And there's a reason why he took all the spring snaps, and then they said, nope, Larrier's better. Like, that worries me a little bit, but the defensive metrics for Air Force are so good. I mean, they're a top 5 run defense. Mm-hmm. They're the 3rd best total defense in the country. And really, these games, the recent games, last 5 years, Air Force has won 4 of the last 5, average score 27-12. So they have been low-scoring games, but Air Force has still been able to get margin in most of those games. So I don't disagree with this pick. I'm a little nervous about the quarterback situation. It was a game that I had circled to bet. I wanted to back Air Force in this spot. Larrier being hurt, and it's a real bummer that Troy Calhoun, when they asked him how long he'd be out, he just said a while.
Yeah,
that's a bump. I mean, they're going to get past this game. Air Force is a team that's starting to have like New Year's Six Bowl hopes. Like, this is one of the better G5 teams in the country. So it's a bummer that he may miss some significant time. But yeah, if I were playing this side or playing a side in this game, it would be Air Force. I've got no interest in Navy. The quarterback situation worried me enough to keep me off of it, though.